There's that man again.
Sometimes it be those inexpensive silent killers. They get them every time. Stay tuned. I'll tell you about it. What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to the channel. I'm your resident sommelier, Mr. Diaz Teddy, and today we are talking about inexpensive fragrances that actually get compliments. So one of the misconceived notions out there is that you have to spend a lot of money in order to get the maximum amount of compliments, and that is just not true. I have some fragrances here that I'm going to be sharing with you guys today that have gotten me compliments. Now, once again, we've always discussed this. Nothing guarantees a compliment, but you have a better chance of getting a compliment if you wear one of these fragrances. And the first one that I want to bring up is one that is not talked about very much in his own fragrance line, and that will be Jimmy Choo Urban Hero. So this one, like I said, not talked about very much, but when I tell you it is a massive healing fragrance that can get a great deal of compliments, it checks the boxes, man. This is a really good fragrance. It's not talked about a lot. It's not the longest lasting fragrance, of course. And many of these fragrances here, they're not going to be the, groundbreaking, just, oh my God, I can't live without it fragrances, but they're good enough fragrances that will do the job for a great price point that can get you compliments. This one here, the notes on this one are black pepper, so you get a little spiciness at the top, finger lime. Middle notes are palisander wood, vetiver, and base notes of leather and ambergris. And there's a hint of sweetness in this fragrance. Not sure where the sweetness is coming from, but what it does is it gives you a nice hint of just almost a sugary note at the top. Although there's nothing here that would actually suggest it has any sweetness in it. You can smell it. Like I said, at the top of this, I can smell the sweetness. You grab a little bit of that leather and ambergris at the back, so it does have a bit of an aquatic tone. Nothing heavy, nothing over the top. Just a really nice fragrance for a great price. I think I got this at like a sub $30, maybe $40 price point. And like I said, it's not the longest lasting fragrance in the world. I got maybe a good 5 hours out of it. But 5 hours was good enough for me to let you know that this one right here, when I did wear it, I got a pretty good amount of compliments. And that would be Jimmy Choo Urban Hero. So the next fragrance that I got coming up, that for the price is pretty damn spectacular, and that would be Mankind Unlimited by Kenneth Cole. So if you like an orange blast, a nice citrusy orange blast, this is the fragrance for you, man. Look, let me see. Let me look up here. I believe I have strips. I'm supposed to have strips up here on it. There they go. See? I got some strips up here on the desk, man. Why is the camera out of focus? What are you doing, sir? We're going to get it back in, everybody. But what I'm trying to do, I'm going to get one of these strips. I'm going to spray this on the strip. See if we can get the camera to focus again. As you can see, there's the name, Unlimited. There's a busy background behind me, so that's probably why it's acting a little bit weird. And we're going to see if we can get him to refocus himself. Come on, sir. I need you to get yourself together. Come on. You're making this take too long. Anyway, you know what? Let me go ahead and do this here, because part of this blurry part is going to be blocked out by me talking about the fragrance notes anyway. So let me go ahead and get the sprayer up. Beautiful citrus blast. Really nice fragrance. One of the best in the Mankind line of fragrances. These are really good, man. Some of your fragrance notes, your top notes are clary sage, seawater, and mandarin orange. So you get that beautiful orange at the top. Middle notes of juniper berry, black pepper, and cardamom, and base notes of amber, atlas, cedar, and sandalwood. You get some of the tartness from the juniper berries and just a little bit of the salt from the seawater, but it's mostly a nice, beautiful orange blast with some green feel and some cedar at the back. This is a really good fragrance. And like I said, for the price point, this is going to be hard to beat. So you might want to try to get your hands on this one. Like I said, and like I always do, I will put a link in the description box for you guys to get your hands on Kenneth Cole, Mankind Unlimited. We're going to get it focused, guys. So the next fragrance that I got coming up is one that I have been a fan of for quite a while. It kind of gives you a feel of Dior Fahrenheit, but much smoother and a lot more bright at the top. And that would be Mercedes-Benz. This is the signature Mercedes-Benz fragrance. This one here smells like Dior Fahrenheit with a lot more brighter notes. Awesome fragrance. Like you get a nice blast of spiciness at the top. Like I catch a lot of the pepper. There's some black pepper in this fragrance as well, but the brightness is the thing that truly gives it the dynamic feel that it has, in my opinion. Your top notes, you got your bergamot, your Amalfi lemon, your mandarin orange. Your middle notes, you got that violet, which gives it a little bit of that petroleum feel. The black pepper, which is that spiciness. The galbanum and nutmeg, and you catch that the vetiver, Virginia cedar, and patchouli at the end. So it gives you a nice woodsy background. This is an awesome fragrance, and for the price point, these have been pretty inexpensive for a long time. And they've always been very solid fragrances. I usually get about 6 hours out of this one, and I do wear this. I actually have pretty much the entire line of these fragrances. I do even have the, I believe that is the cologne flanker, but I got a small bottle of that because trying to get the big one, you're going to pay some money, and I ain't trying to pay a whole bunch of money for that. But for this one right here, in the summertime, this one will work great, and that will be Mercedes-Benz EDT. So the next fragrance that I got coming up is one that has been a go-to of mine for years. This is one of my fragrance starters that actually was a part of the starting of this journey of mine. And it got me a lot of compliments back in the day, so much to the point to where I had to make sure I keep it in the collection, and that would be Burberry Touch. So we've heard a lot of people, a lot of content creators talk about this fragrance, and there's a reason for that. This fragrance is goated in the fragrance community, and it's a goated fragrance from the 90s that, in my opinion, is a classic. It has always been, in my opinion, a classic, and even to this day, man, this fragrance just works. It just works. It gets compliments. It gives you about 6 hours of longevity. It smells absolutely amazing. It smells the same way. It gives me that same feeling that I used to have when I wore it back in the day. When this fragrance first came out was when I purchased it, and it was an instant love for me. I mean, that beautiful violet leaf at the top with the artemisia and the mandarin orange. You get some of that gentle white pepper, and the cedar and nutmeg in the middle, but it's that musk tonka bean vetiver combination at the end of this fragrance that truly gives it that dynamic feel. This fragrance, to me, it has always just been its own thing. I have really not smelled a lot of things that smell like this, and there's a reason for it, because this one is one of the goats in the fragrance game, and as far as I'm concerned, worth every penny. It's not expensive. It is not an expensive fragrance, and it has always gotten me compliments every time I wear it. I still wear it to this day, and I will continue to wear it, and that would be Burberry Touch. So the next fragrance I got coming up is from a fragrance house that no one really talks about, man. And they have some solid fragrances, and this one right here, I am going to butcher it. I'm going to butcher this name, but it is Une Histoire Irresistible. Or how about we just give the English translation, because I'm like that, in his irresistible story of a man. Yeah, I butchered that too. Anyway, an irresistible story of a man, or Une Histoire Irresistible. What it is sexy, sexy, sexy. This is an amazing woodsy fragrance that is perfect for the season that we are in right now, man. When I tell you, this fragrance will shock the hell out of you when you first smell it. When you see the price point, you'll see the price. It's a very inexpensive fragrance, but it is another 6-hour fragrance. But when I tell you the amazing cedar woodsy blast that comes off the top of this fragrance, out of this world, man. This shocking is a shocking fragrance. I'm telling you, like at the top you got some fig leaf and bergamot. In the middle you got some sandalwood, so you have a little creaminess of that sandalwood, but it's that beautiful cedar that really rounds out this fragrance. It's a woodsy, amazing fragrance that has a little bit of zestiness from that bergamot. Great fragrance. Now, it's not going to be for every single person. You got to love a woodsy dominant fragrance that is very masculine, very manly. This will be right up your alley. I'm telling you guys, this is one that people should be talking about more. Who knows? Maybe they'll start talking about it now. And that will be Une Histoire Irresistible by Mauboussin. So the next fragrance that I got coming up had a little bit of hype when it first came out, but the hype has since died down, but it is still an amazing fragrance. And that will be Rochas Aromatic Touch. So if Rochas is the blue, this is the more woodsy green out of the two. And it's exactly what the name says. It's an aromatic touch to that DNA. This is a really great fragrance, man. Like, it's honestly, to me, it was a blind buy. Like most of my stuff are blind buys, but I'm not sure what I was expecting out of this, but what I got, I can truly appreciate. Nice 6-hour fragrance. Gets a really good sillage off your skin. And if you like woodsy, more ambroxan forward fragrances, then this one might be the absolute one for you. It has some olibanum, apple, and pineapple at the top, but there's not a lot of sweetness at all in this one. You got some middle notes of patchouli, your ambroxans, your sandalwood, and your cedar. But this is a little bit more green to me. Maybe you get a little of the green apple at the top, but it's mostly woodsy and aromatic, like the name says. The name is Aromatic Touch. That's exactly what this is. Great fragrance, nice sillage. I've gotten compliments off of it. It's not a compliment monster by any means, but there are people out here who can just appreciate the way a good fragrance smells, and this is actually one of those, and that would be Rochas Aromatic Touch. So the next fragrance that I got coming up is from a line of fragrances that I am a huge fan of. This would probably be number 2 on the list for me in this line of fragrances, and that would be the Bulgari Man line, and this would be Wood Essence. I don't know, man. There's something about this one that speaks to me. Beautiful, sweet, candied citruses at the top. Some beautiful woodsy notes. Some zest from a lemon, the coriander leaf. You got that cypress, the cedar, the vetiver in the middle, and you got some of the benzoin, some of the resin from that benzoin. This is an amazing fragrance, man. There is something about this one, like I said, it speaks to me. It's right up my alley. It's one that I enjoy quite a bit, and I have never had a problem getting compliments with this. It's not that I go fishing for compliments or anything like that, but I never have had a problem when I wear this. Somebody usually says something about it. It's a really great fragrance. It's one of the best in the line. I think the only one that I don't have is Rain Essence. I will be getting that one soon. But so far, out of all of the ones that I've worn, I would have to say Bulgari Man in Black and this one have gotten me the most compliments. So as far as I'm concerned, if you're looking for something at a cheap price, Bulgari, man, wood essence, yeah, this might be the one that you can use as your signature scent. It works all the time in every season. High heat, not too high though. Might want to be careful with that. But I'm telling you, this one would do it. Bulgari, man, wood essence. So the last fragrance that we're talking about is something that has definitely, and I mean absolutely, gotten me compliments, and that would be Coach Green. Yes, the one with the notorious kiwi note at the top. This fragrance is absolutely stunning. It is one that every time I put it on my skin, it just gave me a different kind of feel. Believe it or not, this one actually has a really good clean feel to it as well. It's one of those fragrances that it's deceiving in its sweetness and its brightness, because that kiwi kind of gives you a little bit of both. Let's get it on a strip here. Absolutely stunning. Has a little sharpness to it too from the kiwi bergamot combination. And then in the middle notes, you got that rosemary that gives you a little bit of that herbaceousness and geranium. You got that cedar and some of that moss at the back. This fragrance right here, the first day it was announced, I definitely wanted to get my hands on it. I did not get it when it first came out, but as some time went on and the price came down a little bit, got it in my collection. Absolutely glad that I got it in my collection. This is one that I will keep around for a long time, so much to the point that I have a whole second box of it. Yes, this is absolutely one of my favorite Coach fragrances. Coach, the original Coach fragrance might be my absolute favorite one, but this is running a close second, and I think this would be something great for you for this time of year to get compliments that does not cost that much money. That'll be Coach Green. Okay, everyone, that is my time. We got 8 fragrances here that are inexpensive that can get you compliments. And please make sure that you like, share, and subscribe to the content because it helps the channel to grow. And please hit that bell icon so that you get notified every time I upload a video. Because my name is Mr. Teddy, your fragrance sommelier, and over here we don't do stink, so please don't be a stink ass. Have a good one.